All right, so guys, welcome back to another tracking video here with the Skydio 2. Just like some of my other tracking test videos, I figured we'd just get right into things here. I don't want to waste time talking to the camera when I could talk to you guys while I'm riding. So today's video is going to be a tracking torture test using the Skydio 2. Now, why do I call this a torture test? It's because look at the area that we're in. Look at all of these obstacles that are around us. We're gonna be flying this thing or having it follow us through the woods. Now I'm gonna try my best not to turn around and look at the drone because this is a little bit of a harder terrain to ride on. In a lot of my other videos you guys have been seeing, I've been riding my boosted board and I've been going really fast. Now in this video, I'm not gonna be flying. I also love talking with my hands, so I'm gonna keep them on the handlebars. But in this terrain, it's gonna be pretty interesting to see how the drone fares and how it handles trying to track me. So again, the reason that I'm calling this a tracking torture test is because of the obstacles and the terrain that's around me. Now you guys may also have noticed that I'm uploading this in like a weird aspect ratio. It's because I want you guys to also see the screen recording from my phone. If you guys are interested, that can be something interesting to look at as I'm riding. Now we certainly aren't we certainly aren't riding fast by any means. I don't hear the drone anymore. So it's beeping, telling me that it has lost signal. It actually picked me back up and is now coming back down through the trail. That's pretty great. Awesome, so it found me. I figured I'd have to turn around and try to get it unstuck here. You know what I also want to make sure of? Grab the beacon here. It's at its closest following distance. So that means that the drone is going to stay close to me. You know, as I was going around that turn, I kind of thought that the drone was going to lose me, just because it was a sharper turn and I probably went out of frame for it. Sorry I'm not talking as much here, you guys, but this is a little bit tougher than just riding a boosted board. I'm really impressed with how it's done so far. You know, the Skydio performed well in nice open environments, but it's obviously going to be taken into trails like this one here, where things are a little bit more tight. Also, for those wondering, I've got the height floor turned off, so we're getting the optimal tracking experience right now. It will fly under 8 feet if it needs to try and pick me up here. I don't hear the drone anymore. It's totally facing the other way now. I'm going to enter into the manual steering mode. So we're going to take manual control of this drone now. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to get it out. We'll just keep lowering it down. It's going to pretty much dodge the obstacles for us. All I'm doing right now is just decreasing the altitude. We'll rotate it. Move it forward here. Alrighty. Let's re-enter this tracking mode now. Now here's the thing, I'm not exactly sure why the camera was pointed straight down, but it doesn't have a clear angle on me. Now I think that it found me, there we are. So this is one of the most annoying things about this, right? I mean, I know that I'm bringing into an area right now where it really is not meant to succeed, but if you're gonna be out skiing, if you're gonna be out riding a bike like I am right now, if you're gonna be out doing anything and this drone loses you, you've got to totally stop what you're doing, turn around, grab it, have it follow you. So if it does lose you, you're gonna have to stop what you're doing. Come on, make it. All right, so let's stop here. Have to walk the bike up. I gotta tell you guys, this is my first time riding a bike in forever. So this is actually pretty good, right? We'll be able to see the drone following a slower moving subject, which obviously will help it. Looks like we've got a downed tree up here. All right, let's keep moving. I'm definitely not the best biker. It lost me again. Whoa, it is really far away. All right. The drone is stuck really far away. All right. It's actually flying through by itself right now. Oh. I wasn't even in the steering mode. So we're flying it through the woods now, manually. So I'm just kind of telling it to go forward, and it's moving around these obstacles for me. Alrighty, there we are. So you know what? We got about 50% battery left. This thing has lost me a total of what, 3 times now? Let's turn around, let's head back. Enter the motion track here. So, a total of 3 times lost. If I wanted to come out here in the woods, enjoy my time and just ride, I really couldn't because I had to try and get the drone to follow me. As I said, this was a torture test, if you will. We'll spin around here and we'll finally get to go a little bit downhill. Hopping back on. Still hear it behind me, which is good. Now here's something interesting, right? Because this drone uses artificial intelligence, I've heard people say, oh, if you fly in an area twice, it learns the area and it's going to fly better. It's going to track you better. That's not the case. Now that I'm riding back here, going through an area that I've already been through, it's not gonna like automatically learn and track me better. All right, so you may have noticed that the video went black. That is because the drone just crashed. And now we have to go and find it. So you guys are just looking at a black screen now. Sorry about that. Oh, found it. All right, I'm gonna meet you guys back at the car. So you guys probably expect me to jump here on camera after I just took this thing through probably the hardest environment that it's ever been in and talk about how I'm unimpressed and how I wish that it continued to track me during the whole entire flight. But I'm actually really impressed with what I saw. Now, granted, I had my eyes in front of me pretty much the entire time, but I got a chance to sit in my car, look back at the footage, look back at the screen recording, and I was really impressed to see how this drone was able to handle the tough environment that I put it in. Again, I'm kind of considering this as like a torture test. I was impressed with how it went around different trees and was able to track me still. I'm really impressed to see that I was able to dodge smaller branches. I'm really impressed to see that I was able to find me that very first time after it totally lost me. Now that brings me to the point of how it lost me, the 3 different times, right? How I was riding through the woods and the drone just kind of randomly veered off to the side. And I want to point out that first time that it lost me in particular, because the drone randomly decided to start flying backwards and then into a small little pocket of trees. I really don't have any idea why that happened. The one thing I can say is that in that area, because there were so many trees, I had a weak GPS signal. So because of that, maybe the beacon and the Skydio itself had a tough time communicating back and forth. That's the only thing that I can think of. But other than that, guys, I'm really impressed with how this drone was able to dodge the different obstacles that I threw at it, because that had to be probably the hardest environment I've ever flown this drone in. Now, I want to bring up the crash, right? Because this drone is not supposed to crash, but it did. And I can say that I've crashed this drone 3 different times. And all the times it's come back, it's been able to bounce right back and start flying again. The one thing that's not going to allow me to fly is the fact that the propeller popped out here, so I'm going to have to put a new propeller on my Skydio, so I can't go and fly it right now. I didn't bring any spare props with me. But other than that, this drone is built so well. There's no cracks, there's no dents, there's no bumps. There's a couple of scratches like on the corners, and of course these propellers are a little bit dinged up. Actually, this propeller is almost totally bent. I don't know if you guys can see that, but everything about this drone is totally fine. None of the cameras are scratched up. The gimbal is totally operable. I turned it back on and it was able to calibrate and do everything that it had to do. So here's the thing, right, is when the drone crashes, the battery pops out and the recording therefore totally stops. That's why we were able to see a little bit more footage from like the screen recording, but as soon as the battery pops out, the recording stops to the SD card. So it deletes like the last 15 seconds of footage, which is kind of a bummer, but at least it doesn't corrupt the whole entire video file. The reason it pops out so easy is because this connects through a magnet, and with any sort of force, the magnet just kind of pops out. Now, I don't expect this drone to crash. I put it through a very tough environment. That's why it crashed. But other than that, guys, I don't think you're going to be crashing this drone because it does a really good job if you're in an open environment, kind of the one that I'm in shooting this video right now. But yeah, guys, so I'm really impressed with how this drone was able to fare. It did lose me, like 3 times in that 10-minute span. So if you're going out and if you're having fun with friends and you're going to be mountain biking through the woods, I really wouldn't recommend bringing this drone with, because you're going to hold everybody up if this thing loses you. Now, if you are in an open area, if you don't have anything above you, I would recommend bringing this drone because it's going to do a great job at tracking you. But in an environment like that, probably wouldn't recommend it. Anyway, guys, I can't wait to continue to test this drone out. Let me know if you guys have anything you want to see specifically from the Skydio 2. I know that a lot of people are telling me, oh, don't put it in an environment like this. Of course, it's not going to do well, but there's somebody that has to do it. There's somebody that has to fly this drone in the woods and prove that it is pretty damn good at flying through the woods and through tough obstacles. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll talk to you later. Peace.